Hello everyone, welcome to the 5th lecture of the ARCHLine.XP 2024 intermediate course, which will be kitchen design and storage furniture. In today's tutorial, we will look at how we can use multiple fronts within a single cabinet. We will create a front with a hidden handle, and we will create a curved closure element from the cabinet and make a worktop for it. At the end of the presentation, we will look at how to make documentation for all this. Let's get to work. I open the kitchen design file from the course folder, then save a version of it of my own. Let's get started. I activate the 3D view. First, I will create 2 drawers under the oven in this tall cabinet. I click on the cabinet, then on the pencil icon. In the dialog, I can set its properties. From the top menu, I select the dividers, then click on the green arrow to enter the zone to modify it. I place a horizontal division in the zone without a shelf. The division must be placed in the middle of the zone, so the slider must be 50%. I use the green tick to create it. I select the top zone, then click on the Drawers tab. I select the single with the front option. I create it with the green tick. I do the same with the bottom zone, keeping the default setting. I want to put a customer drawer front on the top divider, so I click on it. I select the third tab on the left side and uncheck the box next to Apply the default. I choose the Wood 11 front. If I can't find it here, I click on the blue plus button to get it from the library. Let's change 3 more fronts to this unique front. Let's start with the tall cabinet. Again, I use the pencil icon to enter its properties. I can select any element by clicking on it while holding down the Alt key. I will change this upper front to Wood 11. On the second tab on the side, I uncheck the box next to the default setting and select Wood 11 front from the list. I accept the changes. Let's change the front on this cabinet too. In the dialog, I hold Alt key, then click to select the front and then replace it. It's done. Do the same for the bottom front of the top cabinet. In the following, we will create a hidden handle front. To create a new door front, I use Interior KBB cabinet door. The cabinet door is a very flexible tool that allows you to specify the shape of the front and allow to cut out or in or add profiles to create more unique pieces. This is not a material but an element, a body, which has different properties like thickness and material. We can do different edits. We can create an insert profile, a glass front with the whole command, and we can add or subtract a profile. To create the hidden handle, we will use the subtract profile and add profile commands. We will subtract profile of 40 mm piece from the front and then use the add profile tool to make the hidden handle. Let's look at the process. First, I give the front material, which will be old ash tree. I click on the Subtract tab. I need to specify the path of the profile. This time it will be horizontal. Then I need to specify where the profile should be placed. I can set this at the bottom right. Leaving the same offset option on, I override the values to 0 and then turn the option off. I unlock the bottom padlock. This moves the profile 0 meters from the top. Unlocking the padlock means that the distance will be a calculated unique size that the program will calculate for all fronts of different widths and lengths. By fixing the 2 side values, we can assure that the front fits on the cabinet of all size and the handle does not end after a specific length, but adjusts the cabinet size. Next, I need to specify the section cutting profile. In this case, it will be a rectangle. Clicking on the cogwheel icon, I turn off the uniform scaling operation option. Its width is 40 mm and its height is 20 mm. I change the reference point of the profile to the top left. Clicking on the green tick, I have cut 40 mm off the top of the front. Now I'm going to place the hidden handle with the Add Profile tool. Here again, I need to specify the path of the profile, which is also a horizontal one. I will set the values as I did before. I set distance to 0, then turn off the same offset option and unlock the bottom padlock. It's in place. I need to specify the section profile, which will be aluminium 2. If it's not appeared in the favorite library, I can select it from the library by clicking on the blue plus sign. Here, I also change the reference point to the top left. The dimensions are 40 mm by 20 mm. We can see that it fits nicely over the top of the front profile. I hit Create button. In the third Material tab, I can choose the unique material for the item. I turn on the Use Custom Material option and select the bright aluminium material from the library. The last step is to save the cabinet door. I select the last tab and save it as Front with Hidden Handle 01-3. I choose the kitchen as a category and the cabinet doors as subcategory. For the producer, I type my initials. The finished item appears in your favorites. I accept it and place the cabinet door in 3D. I will make another font like this one, but with a darker Pine 11 material. I click on the front, then use the pencil icon to enter its properties. In the first tab, I set the Pine 11 material for the front material. Then I save this one with the Save As comment to the library as Front with Hidden Handle 01 Pine to the same categories. Now I'm going to create two fronts with the hidden handle on the bottom, since I will need them for the upper cabinets. Now I need to change the position of the added and subtracted profile to the bottom. I select the subtract profile, then close the bottom padlock and unlock the top one. The section profile remains rectangular, but I need to change the reference point to the top right. So the 40 mm has been cut off the bottom of the profile. For the Add Profile, I do the same. Keeping the horizontal frontal profile, then closing the bottom padlock and unlocking the top. Clicking on the cogwheel icon in the Section Profile tab, I first mirror the profile along the y-axis, then move the reference point to the top right corner. So the handle fits perfectly on the front door. The last step is to save it. Be the name Front with Hidden Handle 02 Pine. I will make an H3 version of this one too. I select the old H3 material on the second tab of the frontal profile, then save it with the name Frontal with Hidden Handle 02 H3. That's it, we are done with the hidden handle fronts. All that's left is to replace the doors on the cabinets. The easiest way to find it is to right-click on his front and select the Locate Item in Design Center command. The program will show you that it is here in the Cabinet Doors category. If I go back, this is where we find the 4 hidden handle fronts that we created. Replace the fronts on the cabinets. I will start with the ash front with the hidden handle on top. I select the front with hidden handle 01-3 and drag it onto the cabinet. Then select the Use as Carcass Front command. Then I just have to click on the other fronts and the program will replace them. I also drag the top hidden handles onto the corresponding cabinets. The program only replaces the default fronts, not the ones that were replaced individually. I can replace this in the properties of the cabinet. I click on the tall cabinet and enter its properties with the pencil. With Alt+click, I select the top front and change its front to front with hidden handle 02 pine. If you want, you can also replace the middle front so that the handle is at the bottom. I will leave it like that for now. I accept it and continue with the next tall cabinet. Here again, I need to change two fronts, so I go into the cabinet properties. Then Alt+click to select the upper front and replace it with the ash one with the bottom handle. Then I change the custom front and replace it with a dark front with the top handle. I continue with the other cabinets. I don't need to modify the base cabinets, and of the wall cabinets, only the custom fronted cabinet requires further modification. I use the pencil icon to go into the properties, then Alt+click to select the bottom front, then change it to the pine front with bottom hidden handle. Make the last cabinet in the same way. The top hidden handle is used here. I delete the placed front and we are done. For curved elements, we need to modify the panel connections so that the hidden handle does not cut into the side panels. Let's modify this. I click on the cabinet, then on the pencil icon. Since these are curved items, the panels do not meet perpendicularly. I can fix this in the Custom Edge Properties tab. This cabinet has 12 edges. I need to select the right one. I can navigate easily between the edges using the arrows, or I can simply click on the diagram. One of them will be edge 5. I can change it to Beveled or Custom Edge. Now I choose the custom one. This way the handle no longer cuts into the side panel. I will find the other edge, and this will be edge 6. I'm going to convert that to a custom edge as well. Let's save it. Do the same on the other cabinet. Let's move on to the next topic, creating a curved kitchen element. If we look at the floor plan, we have two curved elements already. Only the third closing element needs to be created. I can do this using the interior KBB cabinet command. First, I set the properties of the door. Let it be the ash front with the top hidden handle I just made. It's not in my favorite, so I have to look it up in the library. On the bottom tab, I set it to hide handles since the front I selected contains hidden handles already. I will also set the side panels to be the ash front. Now I have to create the custom curved shape. To do this, I choose the Shape tab, then the Custom one. If I have already created and saved a basic body in the library, I can use it. If not, I have to create a new shape by adding the object with the star icon. A shape appears, which I can profile in 3 directions. I select the top, floor plan profile, then click on the star icon. I can draw the cabinet's floor plan view here, using the guidelines. I start at the corner point, then click all the way through the straight sections. Here I need to create an arc, which I do with the arc command. I specify the endpoint, then the internal point of the circular arc, and it's done. I'm back to the starting point with a straight line. I use Enter to close the command and OK to accept the shape. I need to set the basic dimensions of the cabinet in the first tab. The total height is 850 mm. So the carcass height will be 700 mm, the height of the legs will be 150 mm. Then I need to adjust the panel settings. ARCHLine makes a suggestion for the sides, but this needs to be checked. In the Custom Panel Properties tab, we can use the arrows to switch between panels and change their type if necessary. On the diagram you can see the parts of the cabinet marked in red, and below you can see whether the program has recognized the panels correctly and whether they are correctly defined. The first is the bottom panel, this is correct. The second is the side panel, that I have to change to a front. The other panel settings are correct. Let's get the fronts in place. First, I place the door on the curved front, which will be a door opening to the right. I create it with the green tick. For the small straight division, I place a fixed door front. I create this one too. The curved cabinet is done. I save it to the library. Let's name it Corner Cabinet and put it in the Kitchen Base Cabinets categories. I click OK to close the dialog and place the cabinet on the floor plan. I quit with Escape. Let's see it in 3D. As you can see, we now need to make the matching curved countertop and plinth for the curved cabinet. I can also delete the worktop and make a new one or modify the existing one. We will now modify the existing one. I go back to the floor plan, select the countertop and enter the countertop component mode. This means that I can edit all sides of the countertop. By clicking on the square marker, I move to the top node to the start of the arch and then insert a node at the end of the bottom straight section. Then all I have to do is turn the section between two nodes into curved edge. This completes the curved countertop. All that's left is to align the plinth with the arch. Let's see how. I will do that on the floor plan too. I select the plinth, then move the top node to the bottom end point of the inner, and then insert a node at the end of the point of the bottom straight section. As I did for the counter, I turn the section between the two nodes into curved edge. Done. Let's check out in 3D. In the following, I will show you how to put several handles on one front. I will switch to View 2. I select the tall cabinet, then click on the pencil icon. Alt+click and select the top drawer and change the front to Wood 11 front. I also modify the bottom drawer. I turn off the default setting and select the ash front. We will create handles on these drawers. I select the top drawer again, then in the Handle tab, I click on the gray plus button to create a handle. I turn off the default setting. I select which handle I want to place and create it with a gray check mark. This created it in the middle, but I now select the custom position and specify the top left point. I can move it to any direction. I move it -100 mm on the blue axis, that is to the right. This puts it in the position. If I want to create another handle, I will click on the gray plus button again and tick the custom position as well. Now I'm going to set the position to the right, and here I don't even need to set the offset anymore. I just create it with the gray check mark. Done. Let's copy these handles to the bottom drawer too. Then the color of the front will also change. If you want to reset it, select the ash front again. OK, I will exit the command and the program will modify the handles. In the next step, I will change the color of the fronts of the cabinets, not with the method we used at the beginning of the workshop, but with a different one, which will be much faster. Always creating new fronts is a time-consuming process. I enter the Design Center and type gray in the search box. I select materials. I chose 2 gray colors, one light and one dark. I grab the dark gray and drag it onto the 3D window, and then I select the command, replacing one material with another. I select the dark pine front, so I will change all the doors with that material to gray. I choose the light gray and do the same, except this time I chose the lighter ash front. This way I can create different color variations very quickly. The last topic will be documentation. Let's start with the exploded view. This helps to understand the construction of the cabinet and provides information that will help you in the manufacturing process. I go back to the floor plan. I select documentation, quantity take off, cabinet exploded view, create command, or I can reach it from the furniture locales menu too. Let's select the cabinet from which we want to make the exploded view. A group appears that I can place on the floor plan. The elements of the selected cabinet, their names and dimensions are shown. I can right-click on the figure to enter the group and edit or add something to it. I always have to close the group before I continue. The exploded view only works on items that we have created. It does not work on library or downloaded items. The next thing we will look at will be the tags. It works on a similar concept to the exploded view, except that it does not contain a figure but will contain the information you provide. I get to that under Documentation, Tags, Create Tags. First, I have to select the discipline, which is interior. Within that, I can select different types of elements. Right now, I need the cabinet. I can specify which parameters the tag should list. If I don't need one of them, I can simply uncheck the visibility option, but I can also add other parameters. I add components and quantities by clicking on the arrow. I can even assign prefixes to these. For example, display width as W, depth as D, and height as H. I apply and accept, then choose Tags, Place Tags command. I approve the tag I just created. In this dialog, I can format it. I can set the font, the style of the cells, etc. I accept the default setting. I need to select the cabinet I want to assign to the tag to and place it. Since I have also selected the components, we can see the same list of components as the exploded view. We can also see the width, height, depth values with the prefixes set. There is a link between the tag and the furniture, so if I change any dimension of the furniture, the change will be reflected on the tag after updating it. The update is accessed from the tag's local menu. Let's see how it works. Change the width of the cabinet. I can also delete the connecting line as the link remains. The last topic we will cover is to make an Excel list. This can be accessed by clicking on the Documentation, Quantity Take Off, Excel List. I will select the interior calculation and within that the cabinets. I will unselect the export bin parameters and click OK. I have to save the Excel list. Let's see what it contains. This is a multi-tab list, which includes a summary and detailed breakdown. Let's look at the furniture details. All cabinets and their components are listed. That's why it's a good idea to save the furniture and components we have created so they are easily identifiable in the list. We can also see their types and sizes. Under the Summary tab, we can find how many square meters of a given panel and front we will need. I close the Excel and go back to the program. The last topic we will talk about will be color schemes. Color scheme is a graphical representation that is used to group elements or spaces according to any of their properties and to present them in a way that is easy to understand. A color scheme is based on an element type, its parameter, and its assigned value. The color schemes by property can be saved in templates, so that by changing the templates, the model can be presented according to different aspects. The color schemes help to understand the context of the project. In this project, we will group and color the cabinets according to their width. Cabinets 400 mm or narrower, 600 mm or narrower, and 600 mm or wider will be displayed in a different color. Let's see how this works in practice. I will choose the Annotate, Color Fill, Color Scheme, Color Schemes command. Here I also need to specify the interior discipline within the cabinets, and as I said, we will group by width. As many values as you want you can give. I press the Pass button and add them to the list. I want to enter 3 different values. First, I indicate smaller than 400 mm with pink. I chose no more than operation, then enter the value 400 mm. Create the second one, orange or any color of your choice, no more than 600 mm. And finally, create the third one, blue or any color of your choice, greater than 600 mm. The cabinet with color scheme template has been created. I accept it with OK. The program has changed the floor plan. Let's see how we can turn color scheme on and off in both the floor plan and the 3D view. If nothing is selected on the floor plan, you can find the color scheme on the dashboard and see that the cabinet width is now set. You can also find more templates here. If you don't need the color scheme to be displayed, you can click on None to turn it off or even turn it back on by selecting a template. It works the same way in 3D. If I select the cabinet width, the program will also display these color schemes in 3D. If I want to turn it off, I select the None option. This brings us to the end of the workshop. I hope you find it interesting and useful. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye!